Morning, I'm down pet level. Sorry I haven't done a video for a while. I've just been busy making bait pumps and working. And it's the first chance I've had to get out here and do a bit of bait digging. If I do any pumping, I've got to do a little bit of repair to my pump. Where we went over Hastings there, I think it absolutely knackered my pump. So I'm just going to do a quick seal change and a bit of copper. And I'll show you how I set it up and how we get the pressure done. So these are the new seals that I use. I'd just like to thank Bob Button for making me the mould. They've come out lovely. So these are really nice and soft, as you can see. I find the clear is a little bit firmer than the white. Must be the additives in there, but yeah, these are much better. And I say, Bob, big thank you to you, mate. That mould is amazing. But anyway, I'm just going to quickly change out this bit of copper pipe, and then we get down that beach. So I'm changing this pump out on the side of the road. I would normally do this at home, but I'm doing it here just to show you. Use it again. See, what I normally do is I normally cut this olive, so then you haven't got to keep renewing every time, because there's no pressure there. You can afford to cut this and just keep using it. So I'll pull that off. I've just cut my new bit of copper to the right length, and as you can see, this is what the old silicone looked like. It's alright, it's getting a bit battered though. So I'm just going to put a new silicone on. Quickly change this out. As you can see, this hasn't been clean. Look at that. This washer's a bit thicker. As you can see, it's a bit thicker than the other washer. So I'm going to take this nut off. Sorry about all the cars going by. So we're going to put our washer back on. This goes straight on, like so. That on there. Let's screw that on. I probably could have left that other nut on there, but I don't want to do it too tight at the moment. Right, so that's that. Put on that on. I'll cut olive and say that you can open that right up. Slide that on. Put in, as you can look, there's no lubrication on that at all. That's just going in there dry. It sounds good, doesn't it? Slide that up. I mean, I keep that because it always comes in handy as a spare, and as you can see, people ask me how long do these last. Well, that's been in there for about 2 months, and I could have probably kept that in there. But what you can see where I trim the edge, just to stop it, like the tags pulling. So when you get the new seals in the bag that come with the pump, just get a pair of nail clippers, just clip around the edge, just to take the edge off. But this is what they like. They're lovely and soft, and you really don't need no washout liquid when you pump these. I'll show you when we get down the beach in a minute. But I mean, that's so loose. Like people say, here we go, this is the normal test that people do. They go, oh yeah, there's plenty of pressure. There's nothing there at the moment, but we'll tighten that up a bit. Too much now. So as well, got to be careful of it until I get it lubricated with a bit of water. There we go. See, people go like, yeah, there's loads of pressure there. See, there is. But then as soon as you get down the beach, it'll be loose as anything. Right, we're ready to go. Put that away. Spanner away. We're ready to go and get some worms, shall we? Put that in my pocket. Here we go. So So I'm just going to wet the tube up. So there's no wash out liquid in here at all. Now the first test to see if there's any pressure, because let's say, oh, you don't need much adjustment. First worm, it wants to tighten up a little bit. I think we'll give it a little bit of adjustment, just a little bit, not a lot. So we ain't too far off. Give it a quarter of a turn. Try that. That's better. And so we are a bit early. Oh, sounds a bit tight. No. Come here. So it's a new seal, so it's going to take a little while to bed in. I mean, if you want to use wash out liquid, there's nothing to stop you using it, but I find they work better without wash out liquid. What tends to happen is you put the wash out liquid in and the pump comes so smooth. Obviously it's lovely, but you've got no feel of the suction at all. Then as it slowly wears off, then you'll get your suction back and you find you start getting the worms again. So that's the other thing. We've got the new bit of copper in there now, and I've got no indication at the moment. For me it's just muscle memory and just trying to find out how deep they are. As I say, normally you're going to be like 9 to 10 inches deep. Sometimes when it's hot like this, they come right to the top, so you might only be in about 3, maybe an inch deep sometimes. But again, if your suction's not right, you'll be there all day. So if there's a load of cast here, I'll try and pump maybe 3 or 4, and then pick up whatever worms have popped up. But I don't like pump one and then pick it up, pump one and pick it up. You try and save on your back a bit. So it'd be like, if they're pretty close together, I'll pump whatever casts are there and then pick up whatever worms are lying on the ground at the time. That new mould you built me, Bob, is brilliant. So I can now make like I think it's 50 seals at a time. So it takes like a tube of silicone. It's brilliant, and like they come out really well. I'm well happy. So a lot of beginners, they tend to push the pump in too far, or they're trying to force the pump in with your hand. You'll never get it in there like that. All you've got to do is keep a little bit of pressure on there and then pull the handle and it pushes the pump in. So they say don't try and push the pump in because you won't get it in there. Just keep a little bit of pressure and then just pull the handle and then take it down to whatever depth you want. My GoPro with all the sound stuff, I'm going to put it on the pump. It'll be sitting about here and it weighs a bloody ton, but I think it's the only way you really get a chance to see close up how it's actually done. So I'm just going to turn the camera off, put it onto this pump, and then we'll crack on. Right, camera's on the pump. Now I can move around really freely without having to keep moving the tripod about. When you're doing it on your own and trying to do the footage on your own, it's pretty hard with a tripod. Oh, there's a tail going down. Let's see if we can get him up. There you go. So for me, It's the only way to really do it. Oh, stone. Another stone. All it means for me is I have to hold the pump a bit firmer because of the weight of it. Too small, leave that one. That's how I like them, nice and easy. So it seems to be, the old pump seems to quieten down a bit now. I think it's that first initial couple of hundred pumps and then it seems to wear the skin off the silicone, and now it's like it's quieting down and it's working well. That's what we want. As you can see, I'm not going that deep. Yeah, so a few of the guys that I've who've had my pumps, I've told them, you know, when you're first starting out, put a bit of tape at 10 inches. Try not to go past that yellow mark or whatever you use as a marker. You know, just a starting point to get used to the pump, because so a lot of people, they tend to push the pump in too far. Then they wonder why they get tails. But then after a period of time, you'll just get used to going that depth. You won't need the marker. But if you're starting out, I would just definitely put a marker on your pump. Just a starting point, really. But the big no-no is not to over tighten the pump, because as I say, what happens is you'll put the pump in and the suction will be so fierce that you'll lose all the suction in a matter of a second. You want just a nice gentle draw on the pump, so as you keep pulling the shaft up, it just keeps the pressure there. We're getting smaller as we're getting down to the water's edge. Look how calm that is. Lovely. See, they're pretty shallow now. I'm literally just going in about 3-4 inches deep now. That's a bit small. Let the babies have them. I only come down for an hour just to do a video, but once you're down here, that's oh, look, there's the tail again. Let's see him going down the hole. See if I can get him out there. There you go. So I see so many people, I mean, I do it myself sometimes, but they try and grab the tail with their hand, tail will snap, and then they lose the worm. So I'd have twice that many in my hand if I didn't have the camera. Right, I'm going to do a bit of pumping now without the camera. I think I've got enough footage now to show you, and when I get back I'll show you how I wrap the worms. So I'll see you in a little while. Well, we've come off the beach early. They're still down there bait digging, but I've got a few things I've got to do. So we've got a few worms. So we've down here for about, I don't know, 3/4 an hour. And that, so this is what the stone does when you wash the worms out. When you wash the worms out and you take the liner out, so that's what the stone's for. Just keeps the bottom of the bucket out, and you can just drain it off, put that back in, throw them back in, and now I can just carry on draining. Better say I'll leave a description of where to get the bucket from if you're interested in one, because I do get asked quite a bit, where do I get the inside, but it comes as a complete bucket. So anyway, I'm going to get back down to the fishing club, get these worms dried and wrapped, and then get home, and then carry on building some pumps. Speak to you later. Bye. Okay, so to start off with, you know, we got loads of paper here for like wrapping and other bits and pieces. So get a nice bit of paper. Don't skimp on the thickness, because you want to dry these worms out. Then all I do is get an handful of worms and I'll just spread them out. But you don't want to put too many in one sheet, or you just make the paper wet and you won't really dry the worms out. Do that, then another layer. Then another handful. Just spread them out. And put a few more in if we want. But as I say, you put too many in it. That's the only good thing about the bucket, is it's draining all the time. So like when you do come to wrap your worms, they're not soaking wet. Then we get some more paper. Same again. So I'm having to try and hold the camera with one hand and do the worms. Right, so another layer. Then we put another handful in. Just spread them out. So the drier you get these when you're wrapping them, the better quality they are. Now it does help as well if you can clean the worms really well. And then all I do is I just keep doing layer upon layer till I've used all my worms up. So yeah, so just keep doing that. Let's say spread them out. More paper on top, and I'll just keep doing that. Now if you was trying to wrap them and trying to make them last for the week, what I tend to do is if I know the tides are good at the beginning of the week, but I know I want to go fishing at the weekend, is I will really try and dry these out as best as I can, and then sometimes I might even go down the route of re-wrapping the worms mid-week, just to put them in fresh paper. And then we put another piece on there to dry them out, and then there's only one more thing to do. Let's go and have a cup of tea. Let them dry for a bit. We give them half hour to soak in that paper, and then we'll come back and wrap them. Okay, so we got our first lot of worms on there, 10 in each wrap. Space them out a little bit, and then we're just going to roll the paper up. Don't roll them too tight, you'll just squash the hell out of the worms.